All right, obsessive compulsive disorder, otherwise kind of known as OCD, it's oftentimes made fun of and kind of poked fun at in media. But it actually is a very serious disorder. Now, what is it? Obsessions are intense, unwanted worries, ideas, and images that repeatedly pop up in the mind. Now, key thing here is unwanted. All of us worry, all of us think about things, all of us, have things that pop into our mind, okay? But with obsessions, they tend to be incredibly intense. They take over everything you can think about, and they're really unwanted. You know that you don't want to be worried about that. You know that you shouldn't be worried about it, but it still kind of is intrusive and comes in. Now, a compulsion is a repeatedly strong feeling of needing to carry out an action, even though it doesn't feel like it makes sense. So even when you're doing it, your mind is kind of saying to you, "This is silly. Why am I doing this?" But you just can't stop your body from doing it. Okay, so, and when is it a disorder? Well, when it's distressful, when you feel deeply frustrated that you're not, being able to control your behaviors, or it's dysfunctional, when the time and mental energy on these behaviors and thoughts and behaviors kind of negatively impact your life. Okay, so obsessive compulsive disorder is this cycle of obsessions and then compulsions, things that you do to kind of alleviate the obsessions, but then the obsessions never fully go away, so you kind of go into this constant cycle of whatever the compulsive behavior is. Now, what are some common OCD behaviors? Okay, so this is a kind of percentage of children and adolescents with OCD reporting these obsessions or compulsions. The most common one is germs, and then the common compulsion is hand washing, bathing, grooming, toothbrushing, those kinds of things. Another obsession is something terrible is going to happen. And then there's rituals that go along with that, checking that if I don't do these things, something terrible is going to happen. And then some of it also goes into symmetry, order, and exactness. If I don't touch things, if everything's not perfectly in line, if everything's not exact, if I don't take X number of steps between the bedroom and the bathroom, I have to keep going back until I can get exactly those number of steps, because if I don't, something terrible is going to happen. Okay, so these are just the most common ones, but by no means the only ones. Okay, now the common pattern here is rechecking. Okay, although you know that you've already made sure that the door is locked, you feel like you must check it again and again and again. Okay, and it's not like, we all have those moments like, did I do that? And you go back and you check, and then you kind of like, oh, wait, and because you're confused, you're tired, whatever. But when we're talking about, OCD type rechecking is hours and hours of rechecking. Okay, so again, the big take-home message for OCD is make sure you understand obsessions and compulsions and the difference between the two. Okay, and then also make sure you understand that it has to be life altering. Okay, it's not just, quirks that we all have. It's not forgetfulness. It has to kind of take over your life. And again, we'll be looking at some examples of OCD and people who have OCD and what their experience with is it in class.